Simon, you jumped up to third with a really quite comprehensive victory over Batley in the end at the Shea in front of the Premier Sports cameras last time out. When you look back on that game, are you pleased with the way the team performed?
Yeah, definitely. Look, we won't get carried away with it. There are some reasons why Batley probably weren't at their best. However, I did say in the week building up to it, if it was us in their position, we'd be seeing it as a challenge, and I'm sure they did. They came with the intent to win, but I thought we started the game really well, which helped us. And then thereafter, I thought we were a bit patchy, but we did what we needed to do. Whether that was a point or 20 points or whatever it might have been, we just needed to get that one. It was a tough game. Tough game, to be fair. Batley good. I thought we did a really good job on containing Gilmore's kicking threat. I thought we put him under enough pressure, made him kick out of places that probably aren't preferable to them, and we did a good job, didn't we? With adversity in there as well, Woody pulling up, and then Salty finding himself at full back and doing a really good job there. Yeah, a lot of positives to take from it, but it's like all of them, the last one didn't really count for anything because the next one's more important. So we've patted ourselves on the back and had a beer after the game, as we do, but yeah, quick move on Friday, short turnaround as well, and into Sheffield.
You mentioned it was a little patchy. Do you think it was a case of a queue on the rack when the game was won sort of mentality?
No, I think Batley are a good team, so if you're not quite on it everywhere, on every play, every set you've got the ball, they're going to come and hurt you, aren't they? And I thought we turned over a bit cheaply. Discipline, I'm not sure when I've watched it back. I mean, the refs only get one look, so you don't want to dig them out too much, but I think for both teams it were a bit scratchy. I don't know how to describe it. It were a bit all over the place. The game was interfered with quite a bit. It didn't flow that much. Lots of stoppages within it. So yeah, it was one of them games. I thought we were the better team in the basic areas that matter, which ran harder, tackled harder. We showed some good qualities in terms of desire and stuff as well. So the scrum player that worked a treat, and Louis just got too close and then threw it. The chase back were brilliant, and that one of them things where it would have been against the grain, and it feels like a bit of a kick in guts. So yeah, we did well to overcome some stuff within that game. And Sheffield will be a difficult one this week. They're obviously, is it 4 in 12 days? Something silly like that. Scheduling not the best for them. But yeah, again, I've got absolutely under no illusion that they'll be seeing it exactly the same as a test to come and pick us off. And we had a game last time that were quite a bit of ill temper in it, and good game. Sheffield were going really well at that time. They've had some injuries in between, but I do think they look like they're starting to find a bit of form now, so it should be a good game.
You mentioned injuries. Can you give us any updates? You mentioned that James Wood-Burnhall had to pull out of the Batley game just after half time. Can you give us any update on his condition?
Yeah, Woody's hammy. We don't really know yet. It's what, 4 or 5 days in, whatever it is. I think next week we'll have a clearer picture on how long that's going to be. Hopefully it's shorter than probably first feared. It looked pretty lame coming off pitch, but I think he's feeling a little bit better day by day, which is a good sign, obviously. Other injuries, obviously Zach. I don't think Zach's a million miles off. I think it's more Zach's never been injured before. It's the mental challenge of knowing his body's going to be right. So we'll try push Zach a bit more next week, but obviously he's missed out on selection this week. Try to think of any more lumps and bumps. None that we really need to wear, just the obvious ones. Everyone's got them this time of year. So yeah, they are what they are. We just keep rolling on.
We'll move on to Sheffield then. I think on Friday night, if we do actually defeat the Eagles, that will end their season mathematically. Impossible for them to make the playoffs. So you're fearing a bit of a backlash from Mark Aston's men?
No fear, but yeah, I'd expect them to come and try and beat us. Obviously, as I said, it weren't in the best of spirits the last game, so there's a little bit of emotion attached there, which both sides will need to be careful on, because again, things have changed since that game. A little bit of keener eye on a few areas at games, so that's one area we definitely don't want to fall foul of. But yeah, they've got something to play for still, mathematically, and I mean, it's an hard position to be in, but you've still got to be motivated to win, whether you can win the league, you know, or you're in the relegation battle, or you're sat in that middle bit in between the limbo land, but you still got to want to win, and I know Tubby will be driving that, so I've no qualms about what's coming. It'll be a tough game, physical game. They've set of big bodies, and they've got some real quality across the field as well. Thackeray's been probably in career best form, you'd argue. He's been really good this year, and I think Jones Bishop probably returns for him this week. Yeah, with a host of other blokes. One bloke that won't be there is obviously Corey. We brought Corey back to be part of our squad. He weren't going to play against Sheffield anyway as part of our agreement with them, but he comes back and we've got him in our 21, and we'll see how things turn out.
It's a short turnaround, as you've said. The weather's set to be pretty warm when the game's going on. Is there any worries about fatigue in the squad? Are you happy with the condition that we're in?
It's just the conditions, it is what it is. The 3G pitch doesn't help, it sort of radiates the heat, which makes it feel quite a bit hotter than it is as well. But no, it won't be an excuse. We'll go, if we play a smart game, we put ourselves in a good spot, and that's generally the thing. And I know Sheffield will be looking for that as well, making sure they play the long game, because they have got a bit of fatigue in them. 4 games in 12 days is outrageous, and a difficult one for them. So yeah, it'll be a tough old game, but I'm not, as I said, not buying into the fact it is the 4th game. That's just a fact, but we're not buying into that as a reason to say, oh, they might go lightly or whatever. I don't think they will. I think they're off the back of a couple of strong performances, so we'll have to be at our best across the park for some pretty long periods to make sure we come away with the goods.
The Fax fans were in fine voice yet again in the battle game. You'll just be hoping that they'll follow you to Sheffield on Friday night and really make it a good atmosphere to play rugby in. Yeah,
definitely. I've not seen the new ground. They had some improvements on the ground in there, but I have seen from the footage I've seen they've got the bank across the other side, which won't be a bad place to enjoy a game of rugby while the sun sets, and a couple of beers up there. And yeah, you're right, they've been great for the last few weeks, to be honest, and probably rode us home a little bit in some of those tougher encounters we've had just lately. So yeah, I keep saying it every week. You ask the same question every week. Definitely value the support, and it's really nice to hear the voices, and hopefully they can all make it in after work on Friday evening, get us across to Sheffield.
And finally then, last week's win put us up into that coveted 3rd position. Are you how confident in your squad's ability to make that your own moving into the playoffs?
Yeah, look, we wanted to give ourselves the opportunity to make sure we had a say in how matters went. Now there's 5 games left, and I'm pretty sure there's probably another couple of twists in amongst it. But yeah, that's motivation. Finish as high as you possibly can, and for us 3rd is the possibility. And again, it's within our control. So we'll be doing everything we can to hold on to it over these next few weeks.